we tackle one of the most important skills that can shape our future: financial literacy. Whether you're saving for something big, dreaming of starting your own business, or even just trying to make it through the month, understanding that you have to manage your money is essential. But it's something many of us were never taught. From budgeting basics to investing, saving for the future, and avoiding pitfalls and debt. We will discuss more on how to take control of our financial life and build a better future that we all deserve. My name is Hosanna Okrafo, and welcome to Youth Hub. Today on Youth Hub, we'll talk about youth and financial literacy. Joining me on this segment of financial literacy, as we're going to have more segments of it, is Jessica Wafio. Welcome to the program. How are you doing, Jessica?
I'm fine. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I mean, I like your whole ensemble. Esquire. I always have lots of them. Esquires. So now let's talk financial literacy. Yeah. Okay, so for someone who's just starting to earn money, what would be the most important first step for them to take about managing their budget, their finances, or their saving? What's that thing they should look out for?
Okay, thank you very much. I'm honored to be in your program today.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. So for someone that is just beginning to earn money, I think the first things you should think about should be your budget. You should be able to track your income and expenses. So you should think about your budget, and you should also think about savings too, because as soon as money begins to come into your hands, that money can actually just fade out.
Abi?
Yes. So you have to put budget into perspective, you have to put savings into perspective, and you also have to watch your spendings too, so you don't blow out your money that just came in and you can't now account for it. So basically, those are the steps that you can take to curb your finances and to watch it.
You know, a lot of these things are always being said. Check your this, check your that. But somehow it feels like it's hard for somebody to do all of those things. How can somebody just, okay, I make 50,000 naira every month. I want to save. What if something just comes up and takes all the money away? How can you survive? Like, how can you thrive for the month? How can someone put up a stronghold on, I have to save this money?
That's where savings come in, actually. Sometimes, like you save for contingencies.
Yeah,
like,
contingency funds.
Yes. So that when you have some money, you set some money aside, and you also watch your spending. You also prioritize your needs over your wants. You can't just, anything you see, you just want to buy anything, because money just starts coming into your hands. You just spend at impulse. So you have to watch your spending. You have to save, and you have to also budget.
Break, please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Welcome back from that quick break. So, Jessica, you know, we were talking about how to save and how to have contingency funds, you understand? So what are some realistic ways to avoid lifestyle inflation? Because, you know, these days it feels like the youth have a thing with just having a lifestyle, living, you know, the inflation is much. And somehow trying to save, it just makes you spend more as you earn more. You understand? You cannot really say, oh, okay, this month I will not spend, though, but you're just spending. Sometimes inflation just makes you spend more, I understand. So when you start earning higher income, what are some ways, more realistic ways that you can curb your lifestyle that can influence inflation, that inflation influences?
Okay. All right. I think one of the basic things that you have to consider, you have to look within yourself.
Okay.
Have a sense of self-awareness and mindfulness. Like, do I really spend on these things that are necessary?
Okay.
Am I really influenced by, because with the age of social media now, there's a lot going on. Before you know what is happening, there's an unhealthy kind of comparison, unhealthy kind of influencing. And because you see a lot of people on social media, everybody posts their highlights, nobody posts their
lows and stuff. It's a facade, you know.
Exactly. Especially now with a lot of celebrities, people post their highlights, and even if they want to post their down moments, they post moments that they will use for content.
Right.
So you don't have to allow yourself to be moved by that. So you just plan your finances wisely. And also, sometimes I've already made emphasis on savings. You cannot overemphasize that. Save. Learn to invest in companies that are established companies that are known to pay dividends, like dividends. Stocks you get. So you get some companies that are renowned for that. They pay off their dividends and you invest in them. You can also invest in real estate. There's something they call real estate investment trust. That's the REIT.
Okay.
Yes. You don't even.
What do you call it? Real estate investment
trust.
Okay.
That's REIT. Okay. You don't even have to own a property to invest in REIT. Countries like Dubai, they do that a lot. You just have a portion of some money. Instead of blowing it up on things you can't really place, you just invest in REITs. And with time, it's just like a kind of collection of developers developing structures and buildings. You'll be getting returns on investment, and as long as that house remains or that property remains, you'll be getting returns on investment. So there are many avenues to invest in. If you seek out for ways, you will find them.
Okay, you know, there's also a lot of buzz about investing. It can be a little bit confusing, and you know, for beginners, people who are just starting, like let's say our audience watching out there, people who don't know about these RIAs, what are some simple strategies for young people who are just beginning to learn about investment so they don't take too much risk on it?
Well, just as I've said, little things I could invest on. These are just some of the things that, some of the ways you can make investments. You can buy stocks, you can buy shares in companies, you can also, there are things that you can do to boost your income too. You don't just only wait to, okay, I just get money and save up. Okay, even as you're saving, you should also invest in yourself, invest in self-skills, like self-education, financial literacy, so that you can also have access to other monies that will come in. Then you can save up more and be able to use it for something tangible.
How do we know the right investments? Because there are lots of investments out there. Everybody invests here, invest there, invest on stock bonds. How do we even invest on these stocks?
You make your research. That's where the place for research comes
in.
You don't just, because someone says invest here, you just put your money. You take the extra steps. In law, there's something we call due diligence. Before you invest in anything, before you venture into any kind of business or any kind of deal, you have to make sure you go through the due diligence process. So you could take out time, educate yourself on finances, and even if someone brings an offer to you, take the extra step. Don't just say, okay, someone
just brought me an offer, yes, you just jump on it.
Take the extra step. If it's a field you don't understand or you're not really aware of, get an expert in that field and say, okay, someone was telling me about finances, let me meet a financial advisor. What do you think I should do regarding this? Should I invest in this? Should I not invest in this? So such knowledge is very important. So financial literacy, that's where the place of financial literacy
comes in. So we are talking about financial literacy today, and I hope you're getting something from it. So, you know, in a society where credit is becoming more accessible, it's a lot. I don't know why I'm laughing, but it's something burdening. It's something that, you know, when we were in school, they used to teach us that, hey, the debit side, credit side, we don't understand what they were saying. I think it's now we're beginning to understand that. So in a society where credit is becoming more accessible, how can young people use credit responsibly without falling into debt traps?
Okay, very good. This is a good question. Now it's this generation of a lot of credit apps. If you're not careful, you sink into problems.
Really?
I think one of the major things that you can use, or how you could be able to use credit responsibly, is even if at all you need credit, because credit in its sense is not totally bad, because credit is another financial route to future progress of your business or whatever
investing in. But to use it responsibly, that's where the question
Comes in.
So now, one of the first instance, even if you get a credit, you should also ensure that you pay your bills on time. If you're able to get some debt credit from somewhere, pay your bills on time to avoid fees and interest, and they'll start bugging you. And some of them can even go to the extra mile of trying to contact your contact, and it brings down your reputation.
Yes, a lot.
It's very wrong. So you should also use that responsibly. If you take credit, pay on time and to avoid fees and interest. And secondly, also in using credit responsibly, avoid multiple credit loans.
Yes.
Some people will borrow loans, get loans from different apps, from different organizations. How do you think you're going to pay this back when interest is waiting for you here, interest is waiting for you there? How do you come up with that? So you have to be responsible, and if you don't really have a need of credit,
don't take it. Yeah.
Avoid it by all means. So just take your time. Business is a process. Raising your finances is a process, so you don't have to get everything at once. You can take it step by step by step. If a point warrants you get credit, you take the one that is sufficient for that particular use. So
okay, so what role do you think the government and financial institutions should play in promoting financial literacy among young people? Because I feel like, for me, we were not taught financial literacy enough very well from school. I mean, there were things like that, I know that courses like accounting and all of that, but I think from the grassroots, yes, we were taught how to draw grasshoppers, label rats, in which I find X, in which I really don't know what X is doing for me today. I don't know what finding X really did. So do you think that the government and financial institution, what role should they play more in promoting this literacy so that people can know about it? Because some people don't even know how to control their finances.
Okay. So that's a good question. Actually, the government has a great role to play, because in the sense of the word, the whole nation depends on the government, in as much as we do a lot, but we look up to the government for guidance and for some sort of leverage, right? So the good ways that governments can come in this financial literacy is by supporting, or let's say, okay, firstly, they should create policies that will encourage this financial literacy and raising the finances amongst the youths. They should create policies that financially friendly, and they should also create awareness. There should be some sort of sensitization. They should create platforms that youths can go and learn about finances and how to boost their finances. So they create policies, they create awareness, and they also help by raising funds. I wouldn't say the government have not tried over the years. Sometimes you hear about the loans that this industrial bank, what they call it, industrial bank, right? Yes. Bank of Industry. You hear about Bank of Industry. You hear about Bank of Agriculture. Yes, lots of other. How would I put it now? There are lots of government and parastatals institutions that have been set up to help the youth. Like we even hear about the Empower sometimes. So there are several.
Did that Empower really work? Because I had lots of people who said
Empower. I wouldn't say Empower is even really a financial raise.
Exactly.
It's just kind of. I would rather say Empower was created to kind of curb unemployment to an extent, but not to actually give you the financial freedom to establish yourself or set yourself up. So Empower is just a bit of
one of it,
finances, but it isn't really the main thing. But some of these examples I've cited, like the Bank of Industry and the Bank of Agriculture, that give funds and loans, those ones are good. Some people, I know of people that have benefited from it. Got loans of 10 million.
Really?
10 million, yes.
They give that much?
Yes, I have a friend that got up to 5 million. That was way back 2014. And that was quite.
I don't think do they still give that amount right now?
Well, I'm not so sure. I don't know. But he got up to 5 million then, and he was able to set up a cyber cafe.
Now, what happens when you pick this money or you apply and get this loan, and whatever you choose to invest it in does not come out well? Because these are the financial literacies we're talking about.
That's where a risk of business comes in. And also, before they give you those loans, I think there's a process. So for them to give you that loan, they must have believed in your process, believed in how you want to set that thing up and how you intend for it to run. So if it works out well for them, or they feel it's sensible enough, that's when they give you, because not everybody that actually gets the loans.
The loans.
So yes, so you have to follow that process, and if it's convincing enough, then they give you those
They give it
loans.
to you, okay.
Now it's left for you. If you don't put the monies to good use, and business is a risk generally.
Yeah, it's a risk.
Yes, so you just have to try your best and put it to use to be able to get more funds.
So talk about social media, yeah? Now, social media is also one of the major factors that do not help financial literacies, as much as there are different apps which are still online. So I think that, how does social media influence young people's spending habits, and what are some strategies to resist this pressure of, oh, let me keep up, let me do like my peers are doing?
Well, thank you. I mentioned a bit about social media earlier on, and I talked about the pressure young people face from social media. Now, social media gives a sense of comparison, like making your life feel inadequate. So
like you're not complete.
Yes,
like there's something in you that is left out.
So you feel inadequate, and you just want to put yourself under unnecessary pressure. And social media also promotes instant gratification. Just because you see something.
And self-sabotage, yeah?
Exactly. Instant gratification. Because when you have some money to do something wise, once you go on social media, you see a certain...
You now see one cloth. Let me just buy cloth.
Let me just buy it and rest for the year. And meanwhile, that money would have...
Did you say rest for the year?
Maybe that money would have also... helped one leg of your business.
Exactly.
Like, no, I beg, I saw this person wearing it. Let me.
And we have one slogan where we want to just one word. I beg, I've been broke before, I did not die.
I tell you. That's very real. And these internet influencers, they don't help matters, because there's something they are even fond of that they call FOMO, like fear of what's the meaning of FOMO now? Fear of missing out. Fear of missing out.
Gen Zs have something for that. FOMO. Okay, I just learned that.
So when they put a product out there, they'll be like, "Come, everybody's getting it."
Go and buy it, and sometimes you buy out of pressure of something you don't even need. I've had friends that.
My sister, so you just buy it because they put so much pressure, but you don't know they are just working on your site.
Yes.
It's running out. These are the last ones left.
I'm running sale. Buy it now. Next one, you buy it higher.
Exactly. So you just have to watch it, and social media has really caused a lot, but there are ways to also curb these things.
Okay, so what are these ways?
Yeah, I think some few ways I can think of that you could curb the pressure of social media could be unfollow. There's no hard or fast rule that you must keep putting yourself under pressure. If you feel triggered by a certain page or a certain influencer,
unfollow them, right? Yes.
Sometimes take a break from social media. I've taken breaks from social media severally.
Yeah.
There are times that
digital hibernation.
I just feel my head is just clogged. I just need to declutter. I'll just deactivate my accounts for a few weeks.
Really?
I'll be back better and stronger. And so that's where also the mindfulness and self-awareness comes in. You'll be like, even no matter what they post, it's what I want or what I need that I'll get. I won't put myself under unnecessary pressure.
So that's it. Because I've had friends who I went to their houses, or I visited one of my friends sometime, and I saw lots of skincare. There's Anwa, there's this, there's that. And I'm like, this thing is like up to 15, 16. I'm like, are you using them? You say, my sister, they say bio. I saw it online. I'm like, so have you been able to register? I don't even know the one that is working. And I'm like, so which means self-pressure made you to buy most of this. You didn't want to feel left out. Like you said, there's something called FOMO, fear of being left out. And I hope you watching me at home, you do not have FOMO, fear of being left out. Do not buy the things that you do not need. Make sure that you are consecutively taking your money. You know, it's not even easy to have money these days. So when you have one, work on your financial literacy, look out for investment plans like you said, and please do not have FOMO, because it's going to take, you're going to end up buying lots of things that you do not need and you're not even going to use. Thank you for joining me on today's segments. We're going to still have different segments of financial literacy in the coming weeks. Please stay tuned. I'm Hosanna Crawford. Bye for now.